This lectures cover week 6 learning objective. And week 6 have 3 learning objectives, and one of them is assess the role of data analytics in scientific discovery. So in these lectures, we are going to introduce the critical role of data analytics in a modern scientific discovery. As we all know, science is moving into the era of big data, and also researchers increasingly rely on analytics to generate insights, validate hypotheses, accelerate breakthrough across, again, diverse disciplines. So that will be our main goal. So first, let's go through what is a scientific discovery. Traditionally, we will say that scientific discovery is based on observation, experimentation, and theoretical reasoning. It's been for centuries, based on observation, experimentation, and also theoretical reasoning. Example can be fixes, etc. So traditional discovery normally relies on manual observation, experiment, and also theoretical modeling. Now we have what we call the data-driven discovery, which uses large data sets and also computational methods to uncover patterns or generate a new knowledge. So today, modern science generates data at a very high volume, unprecedented volume. Example would be genomics and genomics project, astronomy, climate science, again, high volume of data generated. So analytics is essential to extract meaning and also transform the raw data into actionable insights. I would say that would be the importance of, again, data in modern science. So here we say the rise of data-intensive science. As we said, traditional science primarily will be hypothesis-driven. So here, a scientist may propose a theory or hypothesis. Then he's going to design a small-scale experiment to test it, and then analyze the resulting data to either confirm or to refute the hypothesis. But again, modern data-driven science, this would normally be a process where the main focus is, again, data. So that's a data-driven discovery. So in this case, we start with a massive data set. Then we are going to use analytics, for example, machine learning algorithm or statistics learning algorithm to discover patterns, and also sometimes to generate hypotheses that were not initially known or conceived. So this is sometimes what we are going to call the fourth paradigm of science, the fourth paradigm, data-intensive discovery. And the idea here will be, again, big data challenge and also in science. So in general, we can say that scientific disciplines are experiencing a large volume of data or data deluge, where the volume, velocity, and variety of data exceed the traditional handling capacity. So a very good example would be the genomes project, the Human Genome Project. So genome projects normally will produce terabytes of sequencing data per experiment. So data may also be diverse, including structured data. Example here would be like patient data in a tabular form, or unstructured tests like scientific papers, images, let's say telescope observations, medical scans. and also time series like climate sensors data. Sensors data may be based on time series. So here the need of analytics is very, very demanding because the immense data is useless without the tools to process or analyze and interpret it. So data analytics is the engine that will again convert the raw data into a scientific knowledge and also insights. So data analytics in this context, I will say is the systematic application of computational, statistically, and also algorithmic in terms of, for example, the machine learning techniques. They go again to inspect and clean. So inspect and clean here, we can say that to ensure data quality and prepare the data for analysis. Then transform, and model. So here we build a mathematical representation or the model of the data. And the goal finally will be to extract meaningful, again, useful, actionable insight to support or initiate scientific conclusions. So the fourth paradigm again described as a data-intensive scientific discovery. And the evolution here we say, as we said, it's been over centuries and centuries. Research work normally is based on experimental science, then theoretical science, then we have computational science, and today mostly data-driven science. So in terms of experimental science, we can say that observation, empirical observation and measurements in terms of experiments to observe and measure. Now, in terms of theoretical science, here we have said theory. So we may have some formula or mathematical model and hypothesis. Now, in terms of computational science, it can be a simulations and computer models. And the last one is where our lectures today is focusing on, data-driven science. Here we may have a large scale data set and that can be analyzed with advanced analytics techniques or machine learning algorithm. So modern science now combine these paradigms, but again, increasingly depends on the fourth for speed and scalability, and the fourth paradigm, which is the data-driven again science. So next is the role of a data analytics. It can be a pattern discovery, hypothesis generation, predictive modeling, and yeah. So in terms of pattern discovery, the goal again is to identify the hidden correlations or associations or relationship between variables. Hypothesis generation, most likely here we are going to suggest a new avenue for experimentation. Then predictive modeling is to focus on outcome. Example, using regression analysis to predict customer expenditures or revenue generated, etc. Or disease progression, climate changes, predicting. Now, the last one we say reducing experimental costs and risk. I think that will be one of the main goals. So we will say that is efficiency, reducing the need for costly, time-consuming physical experiment by enable simulation and also venture testing, simulation and venture testing. So next will be the data analytics and scientific methods. In our slides here, we have four of them. First, it is descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. So let's go through each one. So in terms of descriptive analytics, I would say that here we can summarize Or here we say understand what happened. So summarizing past data, example, average gene expression level, climate, average, weather. Then diagnostic analytics. So the keyword is diagnostic. So here we are going to explaining the causes. Let's say example, linking pollution level to disease rate. So diagnosis, explain why it happened. Then predictive analysis. Here we can say using models to forecast an outcome. Example again, predicting extreme weather forecast or weather event. Yeah. So here the keyword is anticipating what will happen in the future. Then prescriptive analysis. The keyword is prescriptive, which is suggesting. So here can be a recommending actions. Example will be policy intervention for climate mitigation or recommended system like Amazon. A person buy a textbook in C++, within few months, a recommendation system may send an email suggesting what book to buy next, maybe a book related to C++ or another programming language. And the final thing we can say here that each of these stage is built upon the previous. And then this strengthens the scientific method with, again, data-driven reasons. Okay, now, so we have some few case studies examples. So first one we're going to talk about is the Human Genome Project. That's the sequencing the human genome generated a massive data set. And analytics will be able to do a rapid sequencing methods or mapping genes to traits and diseases. Also identification of genetic risk factors. One of the application here is personalized medicine from, again, genomic project or targeted therapies or even a predictive health diagnostics. So the Human Genome Project, here, as we said, the data generated from sequencing the human genome and thousands of others surely created a massive analytic challenge. How to move from raw sequencing data to, again, clinical action. So the role of analytics here in this Human Genome Project, one we will say the variant identification and risk scoring. So analytics software that will process terabytes of a whole genome sequencing and data. Then using statistics or machine learning techniques, we can build a model that can compare patient genomes to reference other genomes, and in this case efficiently identify millions of genetic variants. So machine learning models can create what we call the polygenic risk scores, PRS, to predict an individual risk of developing a common condition such as heart disease, diabetes, based on what thousands of small genetic variations. Now, secondly, we may have another role will be targeting, will be drug discovery. So, for example, machine learning algorithm can sift through a large database of known chemical compounds and their biological effects and also disease pathway. Then they predict the efficacy or toxicity of potential drug molecules in silico. Silico here through computer simulation. This will significantly reduce the time and cost of a laboratory screen if we are using a laboratory. We also mentioned the personalized treatment. Can be Again, we're still on the human genome project. So analytics tools combine a patient tumor genomic data, electronic health records, and also the known drug response databases. So this analytics, again, can dictate the specific drug or combination therapy most likely to be effective for what patient unique form of cancer. So this will be a core of precision medicine. So that's few examples we have about Human Genome Project. We can say the impact of this project can be faster and also cheaper drug discovery. We use that as an example. So moving from decades to potentially just a few years to again discover drugs. Then also preventive healthcare. So earlier detection of high-risk individuals allows for proactive lifestyle changes or earlier intervention. For example, based on the genome, the sequence of a person DNA, we may find out that the chance of having a heart attack is very high. So a, a proactive measurement may be taken, nutrition-wise, exercise regularly, and hopefully the problem can be reversed in few years to come. Yeah. So next example is the astronomy. Here we say the telescopes like the Sloan Digital Sky Survey produce again terabytes of data daily. The telescopes. So analyzing terabyte of telescope data. And from there, we can be able to, again, discover a meaningful insight. In short here, we can say the data analytics application, in this case, can detect exoplanets using statistically pattern recognition system, or identify galaxy structure using machine learning, or automating classification of astronomical objects also. So the modern, again, telescopes perform vast, deep surveys of sky, generating unprecedented amount of image, very large volume of image. So here, what will be the role of analytics when it comes to astronomy or even astrophysics also? We can have automated classification and object detection. It's impossible for humans to manually classify the billions of celestial objects in space. Also, they may perform a transit event detection, immediately flagging changes in the sky. A steady bright spot, that could be, let's say, a supernova or a new short-lived phenomenon, etc. So in general here, we can say that machine learning and time series model analyze satellite imagery, sea surface temperatures, atmospheric concentration, etc. And the goal here is to accelerate cosmic discoveries of thousands of new exoplanets, and the ability to study the universe in real time. So next example is climate science. So climate science will depend on a large scale sensor data or satellite images and historical records. So here we can say data analytics helps predict future climate scenarios, also identify causal links between CO2 emissions and also global warming. I think this studies has been around for a while. There's any association or relationship between CO2 emissions and the global warming issue. Also, informing policymakers with accurate simulation. A good example here will be using machine learning to model extreme weather event for disaster and preparedness of the disasters. So what are the tools and techniques in scientific analytics? Number one is again machine learning and AI. Machine learning AI. So for example, neural network, deep learning for pattern recognition has been used in this field. And also big data platforms such as Hadoop, Spark for distributed computation. So if we want distributed computation platform, Hadoop and Spark will be a good. Then visualization tools. So for example, Python, so for example, we have Matplotlib, Seaborn, Tablet, ggplot2, etc. That ggplot2 is for R program, Matplotlib is for Python, etc. Then we may have the cloud computing resources. Now, normally, cloud computing enables a scalable and also collaborative research globally. So again, these tools make high-dimensional, complex data management manageable and also meaningful. Now, the specific methodology within data analytics are what provide the power for discovery. So as we say, machine learning, also deep learning. Deep learning is another good example, like convolutional neural networking to analyze medical images for disease diagnosis or predict a potential 3D structure from its amino acid sequence. Statistical model, here we say identify relationships. Example using regressions, advanced regressions to link complex factors together. So those are the core functions of data analytics in discovery. So we have function data exploration analytics, EDA. Description here, we summarize and visualize data. The goal in data exploration is to understand the data, summarize the data, if there's any anomalies in the relationship between the variables. So the key techniques we can use here will be, example will be descriptive statistics, finding mean, median, standard deviation, variation, data visualization, clustering also. The next function can be hypothesis generation. So the goal is to identify the novel correlation or patterns that suggest new scientific questions and the lines of inquiry. With hypothesis generation, so we can use machine learning, such as clustering, association mining, and also network analysis. So those are some few more predictive modeling, also hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing, we apply a regular statistical method to confirm or reject existing theories or assumptions. An example would be inferential statistics, using t-test, ANOVA, regression analysis, causal inference. Here also we can use a non-parametric testing. T-test and ANOVA are parametric, but example can be sign tests, Spearman coalition, etc. So what are the benefits of to the scientific research process here? So here we have the benefit, data analytics fundamentally transform again scientific process. So benefit efficiency can be a good example. Breadth here we say allow for analysis of multi-modal integrated data sets, etc. We also have in terms of accuracy, novelty, and reproducibility. So this encourages standardized pipelines and documented analytic method, improving transparency and reproducibility of findings. Now, next is the challenges in data-driven discovery. So first is the data quality and pre-processing. So our concern will be the missing values, noising, and inconsistent data. Biases also can be a challenge because algorithm may inherit or amplify biases in data set. Scalability also, handling large data such as a terabyte or petabytes of data require advanced infrastructure. Then ethical concern will be, for example, in medical field, privacy in biomedical research, or even ownership of scientific data. So scientists must balance innovation with, again, responsibilities and also integrity, I would say. So while revolutionary, I can say the role of data analytics introduce significant challenges that must be addressed. As we mentioned earlier, again, data quality and bias. Now, when we talk about data quality, that will come to our mind the famous quote, garbage in, garbage out. So if our data is less quality, then the model that we are going to develop from the data will be less quality. So data processing is very important. Most of the time we will say that like in data mining process, 60 to 80% of the time is spent on data preparation phase, trying to get the data quality with less bias takes time. So here also we have, as we said, scalability and also computation limits also. So what is the future direction here? We say the AI integration, automated hypothesis generation and experiment design, open science, data sharing initiatives to produce collaboration. Also blending computer science, biology, physics, and social science. This will be interdisciplinary research, will be one of the future direction. Then automation, laboratory automation coupled with analytics for accelerating discovery. So future discoveries will increasingly be code-driven by human sight and machine intelligence. In conclusion here, we can say that data analytics has become the central pillar of scientific discovery. And also data analytics accelerates the scientific method by providing tools to analyze vast data efficiently. Also enable exploration of complex phenomena beyond human capabilities. And this is very essential for addressing grand challenges, such as, again, climate change, pandemics, and also space explorations. So as we said, the benefit of scientific process, we mention massive efficiency gain. Here we mean automating repetitive tasks such as data cleaning, basic analysis, allow human scientists again to focus on high-level interpretation and also experimental design. Then integrated holistic discovery can be another example. Yeah, analytics allow the integration of diverse data sources. Example, let's say combining patient medical history and also environmental exposure and genomic data. So this will lead to a holistic view or multifactorial insight that traditionally salad the studies could not achieve previously. Also improve statistics rigor and accuracy. So analytic techniques provide, again, robust method for error reduction and also hypothesis testing or rigorous hypothesis testing, ensuring that reported findings are statistically significant and not just random fluctuations. Then enable again unbiased. That's very important. So enable unbiased novelty. So machine learning models are unconstrained by human preconceptions. They can identify patterns that scientists may overlook because they challenge current theories. This is where true novel discoveries often emerge. If we talk about novelty. Then the last section, which is enhance reproducibility and also collaboration. So the analytic pipelines are often standardized and documented. Example in open source code, which improve transparency and reproducibility of results. Result across research teams globally. This can be globally. Yeah. So that will be the conclusion of these lectures. So this is the references that we use to get this information. And also, yeah, so that will be the end. So again, if you have any question about the assignment or the course in general, again, you can send an email. In conclusion, these lectures cover week 6 learning objective. Yeah. So again, if you have any question about the assignment or reading, so our reading assignment this week, it should be chapter 10 and 11 of our course textbook, which is data aggregation. And also our chapter 11 talks about time series using Python. And Python gives us a lot of build packages or functions that we can use in this. So again, wish everybody the best and thank you.